Vic Mensa, one of the most hated rappers today. And to be honest, most of the hate he got was deserved. Now, it's time for the question I always ask. Where did it all start? Born June 6, 1993 in Iraq, his life was average. Went to school, did what he had to do, but while he was in school, he met someone we all know, Chance the Rapper. But Vic's career ain't really getting no success until about 2009, where he started his band Kids These Days. But bro, band had some success off rip. The same year they started, they won first place at a contest at the Congress Theater. Then not too long after that, in 2011, they was performing at South by Southwest. Then not too long after that, they was at Lollapalooza. The band was really going crazy and making a name for themselves. But when I said it was going up fast, they even performed on TV. But even though it was looking good for them, 2013 would change everything. Now, even though they was bringing in all this success, on the inside, problems was coming up. Back when they had went to South by Southwest was really when the problems became known. The guitarist of the group hopped on a call with everybody and just told them how he felt. Vic said he wanted to lead the band. It just got to a point where he felt stifled by my role in the band and the role of rap and hip hop and the things I brought to the table. But it don't stop at just one. Every member of the group had their own differences. It was just a big group with no leader and so many different roles being played by so many talented people. Basically, everybody just wanted to do their own thing, really just take it their own way. And that's what Vic did. He left the group, started rapping, and when he announced he was leaving the group, he started telling the world how excited he was to drop his solo tape. But it was like after leaving the group, he just kept going up. Right after dipping, he had a crazy performance with Gorilla. Then in September 2013, he announced that he was going on tour with Cole and Wale. And just a few weeks after announcing that tour, he dropped his first solo tape. It had production and features from some real big names in the game. Boy Wonder, Hit Boy, BJ the Chicago Kid, Chance. It was packed. He knew what he was doing. It was so well loved, XXL even named it the 8th best project of that year. Then Complex came in, ranked it at the 34th best album of 2013. People loved it. Had the whole world thinking he was the next big artist. Cause in 2014, guess what he was? An XXL freshman. After that, he got on a song with one of the biggest artists of the 2000s. Yay. And he got on the song Wolves that later on got put on Life of Pablo. But it was like this year just kept getting better for bro. In April, months after showing the world the song he had with Ye, he officially dropped a song with Ye, You Mad. Then less than 2 weeks after that, he signed to Rock Nation. But look, 2015 keep getting better. Grammy time came around and the nominations came out, and can you guess who got nominated? Vic Mensa. Mensa received the nomination for Best Rap Song at the Grammys for the song All Day because he was a writer. But 2016 is where Vic started to get into some controversy. The year started out good, but wasn't really touching 2015. To start, the song Wolves he had with Kanye did get put on Life of Pablo, but his verse got took off the song. Summer 2016 came around, and this is where everything really started. Vic was just doing what rappers do, getting to the bag, and a venue reached out to him to perform. A venue that went by the name Populux. And before I really get into what happened, you can really tell the internet was a different place than it is today. Cause saying anything like this today will get you cooked off the internet. You getting canceled off rip. So basically it was a shooting around this time. And the venue got on Twitter and dropped the craziest line I done seen the venue social media account post before. Hashtag blame Obama. All you libs cause these deaths. Hashtag Dallas shooting. Hashtag F Black Lives Matter. And as soon as Vic seen this, he told him, I'm done. I'm not coming to perform for y'all no more. Y'all not about to post nothing like this about my people and think I'm about to come rock with y'all. But after this got tweeted off the account, the venue started getting so much backlash, it had to shut down. But when they got shut down, a lot happened. They said they got hacked and got in contact with the FBI to investigate who hacked the account. But them doing all that ain't help. Everybody started pulling out from their spots. Jamil Davis, someone who tormented Drake before, pulled all his artists out. Another artist came out and had something to say. We unfortunately will be canceling our show in Detroit tonight due to the public statements made by the venue. Even after the hate, the venue was still trying to recover, but the damage was already done. Even if they did get hacked, their image was ruined. We sincerely apologize about the views expressed in tweets that went out last night. Our account was hacked. Back to Vic though. Not even a month after this situation, he got in some trouble. August 5th, 2016, he was out shopping and was in Barney's. But after riding around, some cops pulled up and pulled him and everybody out the V and accused all of them of doing something crazy.
Giving him trouble for all types of stupid shit. We didn't I go on Bonnie's and spend 4 racks and get accused of stealing.
Bought some L. Saint Laurent boots, like some other from Barney's, and we get all pulled out the car, and the kids. And on top of that, they don't even know what they think we stole. They have no clue. It's funny, but really, I got to do, man. It's like you can't be a young black man out here doing anything legal, positive, and you still get treated like a criminal. We don't really have to steal. Man, like
they said they was stealing after Vic just went in the store and dropped 4,000. But just a few weeks after this, he got into another situation with the law. August 26, 2016, he had a flight. But this flight wasn't going good at all. First, it got delayed, then got delayed again, then got delayed again. And it was like his ride just kept getting delayed. Then the people working there wasn't even making it no better. Mensa said, when the fat man scanned the tickets called for platinum, I stepped in line and waited to go on the plane, as I should. Then a woman walked up. He was disrespecting this woman so crazy, pointing all in her face. No, ma'am, you need to follow instructions. You need to go around the back and follow instructions. I don't let that slide in front of me. I don't let people talk to women like that around me. So I told him, you need to watch your attitude speaking to her because we the ones been waiting. Then the man tried to tell me I couldn't get on the plane and I had to step to the side. I'm like, well, I've been waiting forever. I'm not going. So I scanned my own ticket and walked on. Before I go on though, this situation real important. The way how he act about situations like this, the way he act about situations involving women is gonna be real important later on. But after going back and forth with the worker put a word in, told the cops, and they came and took Mensa off the plane and lied to his face. They was like, look, we just taking you off for a second because it's procedure, but we gonna let you back on. The thing is, them niggas ain't never let him back on. The plane took off without him. Really think about the situation. Nigga plane got delayed all them times and he couldn't get on because he acted out in there. I see he was feeling some type of way, but you in the airport. The situation get worse though. When the worker finally came and told him he couldn't get on the plane, he was hot. After she said that, that's when I turned up. Snatched the ticket out of her and stormed off, said, F this airline. Grabbed the metal banister, threw it on the desk, and pimped off, cornball. Then they bring the police outside to come and get me. It's the same cops. They cool. I low-key had a little breakdown. I was like, man, I had to go home. Basically, Mensa was mad someone was treating a woman crazy. Then turned around and treated a woman crazy? I think him snatching the ticket out of her hand was way worse than the man just having an attitude. But after everything that happened, I'm guessing since they was in the airport, the FBI had to get involved and they took his fingerprints. But he still felt some type of way. He said, the moral of the story here is, I don't get no else about your ego or your sense of entitlement. You not about to disrespect the woman in front of me. Then, the airline even tweeted at him asking for a DM. After this, 2016 only really had one more situation he kind of got into. It was with Lil Wayne over a Black Lives Matter comment. But it was quiet until about March 2017. Vic was back in Cali, Hills, and he was just going about his day doing his thing until he made the small mistake of running the stop sign. But when he did, there was some cops waiting on him and they pulled him over. But before anything could go down, off rip, he told the cops he had a legal scrap on him. He had his permit. But the thing is, his permit ain't covered California. So the cops arrested him and charged him with one felony count of having a concealed weapon. And he had to spend the rest of that day in jail, but got out with a $35,000 bail. Before I go on though, you this far in the vid and having subs, you gotta be entertained, my boy. Might as well hit the button. But at this point, he was feeling some type of way about the whole country, really. Something I ain't really mentioned was that over the whole year of 2016, he was going around the country begging the younger people to vote because he ain't want Trump to win. He looked at Trump like he was evil or something. So for him to get arrested right after Trump won probably made him feel some type of way. But a month after this, he put himself in a situation to make him look real ignorant and like a weirdo. April 2017, Vic had a show in Cincinnati. And bro was just on stage doing his thing until he dropped one bar.
Tsunami, what the is a little Yachty?
The thing is though, that this was uncalled for. Yachty never dissed bro, never talked down on him. He ain't ever disrespect him in no kind of way. So for him to just randomly come out talking about another man made him look kind of crazy. And that's what Yachty really came out and said. The situation that recently happened, I feel like people just try to throw a shot at me so I can respond. I never even spoken to him. I just shook his hand one time. Niggas is weird. But after dissing Boat for no reason at all, When the summer of 2017 hit, that whole weapon charge from Cali came right back up. Instead of him getting the 2 years he would have got for that weapon, they gave him 2 years of probation. And over the next few years, he stayed out of drama for real, but was real political. And you know how people get about their politics. He was talking down on Obama and giving his input on all the political situations going around at that time. But he ain't really get back into no problems until July 2018. Think about how the game was at that time. It was one person running the game, 6ix9ine. X had died a month before, so the game was kind of in a weird spot. But with how 6ix9ine was moving, it was only a matter of time before he got into it with Vic Mensa. 6ix9ine was beefing with Sosa. You know how he get. He started disrespecting wherever the rapper from, whoever the rapper be around. And 6ix9ine dropped the clip basically saying F Chicago and F every rapper. And guess who from the rap? Mensa. And when 6ix9ine said this, he felt some type of way. So he got online and challenged 6ix9ine to a fight. It ain't never happened, but now that we on the topic of Chicago, it was one last beef that went down in 2017 that I ain't even speak about.
So many people outside the culture of Chicago, they hyped up the music, not knowing that real lives were being affected, deaths and other type of madness happened. How do you feel about that?
I wanted to slap you in your face, honestly.
For context, Act used to run a YouTube channel called War in Chiraq. And what he did was basically talk about Chicago and was acting how he act, cracking jokes, doing all that. And the Chicago people ain't mess with it. They looked at Act like he was an outsider making a whole channel about a city he ain't even from. He don't even got nothing to do with. I can't see why Vic had a problem with this, because think about it. Act made a whole channel about Chicago. Maybe it would have been different if it was a vid or two, but an entire channel about a culture that don't got nothing to do with you? That do sound wild. Back to 2018 though, this where Mensa made a decision that really ruined his career. Now look, over the years, he beefed with some loved names in the game. Whether he had a valid reason or not, beefing with popular figures gonna have some people not liking. So people slowly was turning on Mensa, but this right here sped everything up. If you watched my last video, this was gonna kind of get familiar. 2018 BET Awards, Vic Mensa was there. But before I continue, back to something I said earlier. Remember the whole airport situation where he said he don't tolerate no female disrespect? This where it all come back into play. So this year, X ended up winning an award, but you know he passed. So it was just his family there. His mama was there to take his award. So X mama was just in the crowd, just happy to be there. And it was all good until Vic performance came on.
Loser, your favorite rapper's a domestic abuser. Hey, we all know you won't live that long.
There was an X diss. Now, let me explain. In the clip, you hear a name get cut out. It was X's name, and I know this because Vic Mensa came out himself and said it was X's name. And if you ain't know, X had an abuse case against his girl. So a few years before X passed, his GF came out at the time saying he hurt her. And that was a real big thing people brought up when talking about X. And you know what Vic said. You know how he is about females. And it was only a matter of time before he came out dissing X. But it happens that when he decided to diss him, the man already passed away.
Recently, I did a freestyle for the BET Awards cypher addressing and condemning rappers who unabashedly abuse women and those who stand up for them and even call them legends. I stand behind those statements. It was pre-recorded weeks ago, and I had no idea a grieving mother would be in the audience to honor her lost son. I never intended to disrespect her, and I offer my deepest condolences for her loss at the hands of gun violence. However, I vehemently reject the trend in hip-hop of championing abusers, and I will not hold my tongue about it. I don't give a f about getting attention. I care about bringing awareness and holding people accountable for their actions.
But it turns out that Vic Mensa was out here doing all this whole time. He done came out publicly and said that he done choked out his girlfriend before because she confronted him for cheating.
He choked her out in the song.
But that's the beginning of the story.
Okay.
That was like maybe 2 years or something before we broke up. So
he doing all this and had that whole airport situation going on the whole time. He just as bad. But back to the story. And when he said what he said during that diss, the whole world turned against him instantly. Dissing the dead man in front of his mama. Even if he did want to express how he felt toward X, he should have waited and went about it differently at least. But the way this did his career, he would never recover. Every media platform turned on him. Fans turned on him. Rappers turned on him. It was like he was done for. But after this, it was quiet until about January of 2020. Once again, in Cali, got into another situation with the law. This situation basically started just like the other one. He was out driving, but he was on the bike this time, and some cops was watching and said he made a dangerous turn. And when they pulled him over, they searched him too, and what they found got him charged with a felony. They found a set of brass knuckles, which got him locked up, but he had to pay $20,000 bond, and for the next 2 years, he stayed out of trouble, making music, doing features here and there, just trying to get his name back right with the people he turned against him. But that safe streak ain't keep going. January 2022, it all ended. Vic was at an airport in Virginia, just got back from visiting Ghana with Chance the Rapper, and everything was good. While they was there, they met with the president and was just living life. But that changed when they stepped foot back into the U.S. airport. Vic got off the plane and got searched, and when he did, the U.S. Customs and Border Patrol took him in for felony possession of narcotics. And while he was in there, they searched and tested what he had on him. He had some shrooms on him. Now look, I don't know what he was thinking bringing shrooms into the airport, but in 2 years, he got hit with 2 different felonies. Crazy to think about, but that all brings us back to today, where Vic really been trying to fix these relationships he broke with people.
This triple X, it was disrespect. It made the fans disinvest, but every L taught me an invaluable lesson.
But even though he tried to apologize about the X situation, some people around X and went to war against Vic, which I'll talk about in this video right here.